Hi my YouTube family, this is Melody from Home Garden and Fashion. I thank you so much for being here today. Today we're going to have a wonderful time together. Hi, I hope all of you are doing awesome. Today I'm going to do a story, and this is just another magical land story. So this story name is Dolly and the Magic Mirror. Dolly and Dharma lived in the city all of their life. After their one and only child, July, graduated from college and got a job in the city far away from home, Dolly and Dharma got very lonely. They did not started their child. Dolly and Dharma got very lonely. They did not wanted their child to move away far, but children at this age do not really listen to their parents. In fact, Dolly remembered clearly that Dharma came to USA leaving his parents and his friends and family in India behind, just with a box, just with a suitcase and $20 in his pocket, with big dream to become a millionaire in this country. Tori realized that she was just 20 when she got married, and she was just 21 when she too came to USA to join Dharma, her new husband. Time went by so fast, and they had a daughter. Um, then she went to preschool, then she went to the elementary school, then middle school, then high school, then college, and then she got a job, and now she moved far away from parents. Dolly almost cried every night. Every night she cries. This is unbearable to her. She cried until her eyes became very dry and there were no more tears left to cry. Dolly was very simple village girl. She got married to Dharma while in college. Then she took her final exam and came to USA when she was 21 years old only. She did not know much English, just little bit of English which she studied in school and college, but she didn't know how to speak English at all. So she learned English over here in USA in last 25 years, and working many odd jobs, and mostly from watching I Love Lucy and Three's Company and Andy Griffith's Show and Mama's Family. All these things, all these TV series were her favorite TV series, so she watched this, and mostly these were her English tutor. And then she went to school and college here to learn English for a while. And then she worked in many places, many odd jobs. She remembered that when she first came here and she tried to apply for a job at a florist shop, and she called the number and she said, "I job do." The florist said, "Lady, I need someone who can understand, speak the customers. I need somebody who can understand the customers, speak fluent English. Customers can understand her. So I can hardly understand you, and how can I hire you?" She worked hard to improve her English and learn English. Finally, she learned enough to work and do her job, whatever she needed to do, and talk to friends and her daughter and her daughter's friends and their mom. So anyway, in last 25 years she made a life for herself. But after her daughter July left, she was very lonely. So they planned to move to the countryside. They planned to buy a home there and do some gardening and just growing vegetables and live a country life. Now this countryside wasn't very far away from the city. I mean, they can always come to the city. It was an hour drive, and then they can buy things and meet their old friends and also enjoy the country life. So they bought a place in the village. It was nice, a small house, and it has nice garden in the front and the back where Dolly and Dharma can work. Dharma loved growing flowers and Dolly loved growing vegetables. So Dharma worked from home, and this house was 3 floors. So on the 3rd floor in the attic, Dharma made his nice home office and he worked from home. He was around 60 years old, and Dolly made her office slash craft room in the basement, a nice room, and she was 50. So they had their own work area, and middle, the 2nd floor, um, was the one where they had the kitchen, living room, everything. And the 3rd floor was the sleeping place, and above the 3rd floor was a little bit of attic area which made a nice room, and in the basement there was a nice room Dolly decorated for her arts and crafts and her music, all kinds of her hobby room there was, which kept her busy. So she started buying things to decorate the house at the nearby thrift store, and they had some good thrift store in that area and a lot of good deals. So and she was buying many things to decorate the walls and everything, and she saw this beautiful mirror, and this mirror was a very old style mirror but very unique, because this mirror, not only it had a very good decoration outside, it also had 2 doors, and those doors closed the mirror, and when you opened the mirror it seemed like a, not a mirror, like a pathway to something, gateway to something. Anyway, she was always attracted to these kind of strange looking things at the thrift store. So she bought it and brought it home, and Dharma did not like her buying all these kind of old things, and he thought this was just total waste of money, but she liked it and she bought it. So she put it in her craft room, so he doesn't nag about it every day. So she put it in the craft room and she cleaned it up and painted it, and then she put a nice cover on it so nobody can see it. This was her special treasure. Now Dolly decorated the place so nicely, and they were living very happily there. She had her beautiful vegetable garden in the back, and Dharma had his flower garden in the front. He was growing roses and things. And whenever she went to the craft room, she looked at the mirror and did her embroidery and making dolls. And she used to make a lot of arts and crafts and flowers and things, and she sold them too, many of them. She sold at Etsy. So she would take off the cover for the mirror, and then she will open the 2 doors like a gate. It had 2 doors, and so she would open the door, and as she was looking at the mirror working, she felt very drawn to the mirror. She felt like there was a serious attraction, like you want to come to the mirror and look. So she got up and she came to the mirror and looked. As she was looking, and then she put her hand to clean it, and then she saw that her hand went through the mirror inside. So she put both her hand, and slowly she put her head, and then she put her body, and before she realized what just happened, she was inside the mirror. So she went inside the mirror, and she saw that inside the mirror there was a pathway, and this pathway is long and is beautiful, and both the side of the pathway was full of rose bushes and beautiful cherry blossom flowers in both sides. It's a long pathway, and then it leads to a beautiful well. And it was few of the wells were there, and this well had buckets in them, and she went and she saw a bucket and she drank some water. She felt thirsty as soon as the water was so tasty, so sweet. She never tasted water like this. She was so amazed by the water. The water tasted so good and it felt so good, so she drank the whole bucket of water. And as she kept going, and she saw this beautiful rose gardens, and outside it read 24,000 different varieties of roses here. The entire air was filled with fragrance. After the rose garden, there was a beautiful fruit and vegetable garden, and there were fruits and vegetables from all over the country, all different kind. And there were very few people, like 100 people, and all the people looked very young, beautiful, strong, and happy. They seemed to look like they were in their 20s, and there were no such thing as aging, and people are very happy and active. And there was a big sign. It said, "Welcome to the magic mirror land, where no one ever gets old, sick, or hungry or thirsty." There were enough food to feed everyone, and enough clothes for everyone, enough housing for everyone. There is no misery, there is no suffering, there are no diseases. And she was so surprised to see a place existed like this. And people were so happy, and there were clothes made of leaves and flowers, and these clothes were hanging on the tree branches, and clothes were made by these beautiful looking tiny fairies, and these fairies were roaming around everywhere and making pretty clothes, and everyone worked all the time, all day. They grew food, they made clothes, they made dolls, and some were dancing, some were singing and entertaining people. Some were busy making homes, and some were busy pulling water from the wells. And there were no fights, no greeds, no lies, and it was like a true heaven. The sign said, "You may choose to stay here or may choose to leave after a visit, but after 1 week you cannot leave. It is permanent. You may lose track of time simply because the place is so beautiful and big, but you can visit any time. And even if you live here permanently, if you choose to leave and you make a request with the fairies, they always grant your request to leave." So Dolly stayed around and looked. The more she looked, more she was mesmerized. As she was looking, and she was thinking, "Is this real? Is this dream? Am I dreaming?" And she was pinching herself. Then she heard someone calling, "Dolly, where are you? Where is the dinner? Is the dinner ready? I am so hungry." Oh, she realized she forgot all about Dharma, so she rushed. She rushed out of the mirror and she was coming with lots of fruits in her hand so she doesn't have to cook. And there's this tiny little fairy came rushing, saying, "Excuse me, mother, you cannot take anything out from this world to that world. The mirror is the portal, and that's how you go this world to that world. But you cannot carry anything. You cannot bring anything from your world to this world, and you cannot take anything from this world to that world. You can eat all the fruits you may wish. You can drink all the water. You can wear all the fruits and leaf clothes and flower clothes, but you may not carry anything with you." So she dropped all the fruit there, and they just flew and went back up on the trees. And then she came out the mirror, and then she went running to upstairs to the second floor to the kitchen, and not saying anything she started cooking, and she was so happy and singing and jolly, and she had just found the treasure. She had found the solution to all her sadness. The sadness, the deep sadness she went in because of her daughter leaving, is just lifted off her shoulder. Now she had found the paradise where she can go and have friends and visit people. Then she cooked the food, and then she came, and Dharma says, "So, how's the crafting going? Did you make any dolls? What's the progress?" She said, "Yeah, I made a few. Haven't gotten finishing it yet." After dinner, she organized everything and she fixed everything upstairs for Dharma for sleeping. And then she went and said, I have to go down and finish some more work." So she went down and she kept the mirror covered because she knew that if she goes there, she might lose track of time and stay there. So she finished all her dolls, and she had a bed in there too. Sometimes she fall asleep in there. But she came back up and she went to sleep. And every day when Dharma worked in the daytime, and that time Dolly went downstairs and did her crafting, and now she had a new reason to do it. So Dolly got attracted to the mirror so much that every day after Dolly made few dolls, she visited the place, and she visited almost every day. She made some friends there too. There were like 100 people there, and those people decided to stay there, and those people all were made the magic mirror land their home and family. Dolly met some famous doll maker, famous singer, some famous dancer, some women who did most beautiful embroidery, some people who were so passionate about gardening and growing food and sharing their fruits and vegetables with people. Everything belonged to everyone. Nothing was mine or yours. It's been 6 months. Dolly kept going there every single day, and no one knew about it, not even Dharma. This is her secret place. This is her secret garden. Sometimes the friends from the city came to their house, sometimes they went to friends' house on weekends, and they all keep saying that, "Dolly, you look so young, healthy, energetic and happy. What's going on? It seems like the village air is making your age go backwards." Almost everyone in the village thought Dolly was 20 or 25 years old, when actually Dolly was 50 years old. She looked and felt very happy, healthy, and alive. But soon people began to ask questions because Dharma looked like 60-year-old, 55, 60-year-old, eating the same village food and breathing the same village air and living in the same village, but at the same time Dolly looking like 2025, her body changing, her face changing, and she's looking very young. And Dolly knew it was due to that water and the fruits and vegetables she was eating at that magic mirror land where everything was pure and true. Everything was the purest form, the air, the water, the fruits and vegetables. There were no toxin, chemicals or poisons in there. And the 100 people were there. They were truly nice people. There were no evils to destroy the world. So that was a totally different land and different world, where she ate the fresh fruit, fresh vegetable, drank the purest water, and breathed the purest oxygenated air with no poison, toxins or chemicals. So her body started changing. She looked very beautiful, happy and young, and she started acting like young people, full of life, happiness. Dharma was actually getting very jealous of her sudden beauty and sudden happiness. So one day Dharma came down to ask Dolly for something, and he found that she was not even in her craft room. So then in the evening, when Dharma called from upstairs and Dolly came running, and Dharma asked, "Where were you?" She said, "Crafting as usual in my paradise, in my craft room during the daytime when you worked here." He said, "Well, that is simply not true, because you were not there when I visited downstairs in the daytime, and you're not there, nowhere to be found or seen. So tell me the truth, where were you?" Well, he insisted that she's having an affair, and that is why she's happy, healthy, glowing. And she said, "Not just I love my life and my craft room. Now I even love going out and gardening too." And Dharma was very angry and jealous with this, that she loved her craft room, her gardening, and just singing and dancing around the house. And he wanted back the old Dolly, who was tired and sad and crying all the time, because that was something similar to Dharma. And now that she feels and acts like 25-year-old, it does not match with Dharma. So at night time, Dharma came down to the craft room when Dolly was sleeping upstairs. He looked everywhere to see what's going on, but he did not see anything much. He did not see anything unusual. All he saw is arts and crafts material, lots of dolls, embroidered fabrics, pin, thread, needles, lots of paper flower, butterflies, and in a corner there's a covered mirror. So he didn't bother to care about the mirror. Another month passed by. Dharma kept coming during daytime and not finding Dolly there. He got very suspicious and insanely jealous of her youth, happiness, beauty. Now by this time, this is altogether going to 7 months since he got the mirror. In 7 months, Dolly started looking and feeling and acting like a total 20-year-old girl. And all the friends been saying that. Even some of their friends' sons were hitting at Dolly, which made Dharma very angry. And they went to a wedding where Many people have called Dharma Dolly's dad, and they said, "Oh, you were here with your dad?" And Dharma got very angry. Dolly started looking very, very young, very happy, very healthy, full of life. Even when sometimes she chatted with her daughter did not recognize her. She totally changed. And she was very, very happy. But this did not make Dharma happy, so he got insanely jealous. Even his friends were saying that they totally believe that Dolly is having an affair, and that was the reason for all her happiness and glow. And Dharma was insanely jealous. They were fighting with each other daily, and he did not want her to do gardening or craft or anything because he was very jealous. So he put a camera in her garden, and he put a camera in her craft room to see and hear everything that she does. While he was working upstairs in the attic in his computer room, he kept looking in the computer to see what he can find about Dolly, what she's up to. So one day he was watching the computer, and he saw that Dolly went to her craft room. As she was crafting, she opened the mirror, and then she opened the mirror door, and then she put her hand out, then the head in, and then the entire Dolly went inside the mirror. As he watched that, he was so shocked. He came down immediately, and then he called out her name, Dolly, Dolly, and she did not come out. She got lost in the beautiful land, and he brought a big thick stick, a rod, iron rod, and he smashed the mirror with it, hoping that she would come out. And then he called out, Dolly, come out, please. Dolly could not, because he smashed the mirror. Dolly went to the other side. The mirror is the portal. The mirror is the gateway between two worlds. Dharma tried to explain this to many people, including the police, but no one believed him. They all thought that this is just a story Dharma thought out to tell everybody, since he is ashamed of Dolly, and they all believed that Dolly had an affair with a young man and she just ran away, and Dharma could not live with the shame, so he's telling the story about Dolly went inside the mirror. And Dolly stayed in the magic mirror land happily ever after, and she did not have to cry for the daughter who left her, or did not have to fight the husband who every day thought that she's having an affair and fought with her. And she had many friends, fresh water to drink, beautiful fruits and vegetables to eat, lots of arts and crafts things to do, and live happily ever after in a dreamland inside the magic mirror. The end. I hope you liked the story. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share this video, and I will see you with many, many more. Thank you. Sweet dreams. Love you all. Bye bye. Hi, thank you so much for being here today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share this video. Thank you. May God bless you all.